G'day everyone and welcome to another episode of Run with Soul. I'm Andrew Reid, fresh off the plane from tropical North Queensland. I actually just flew in about 2 minutes ago and Dino dragged me to the studio. I am joined in the studio by Dino today. We are broadcasting out of the studios of 2GB 873, the power station. Don't forget, if you get the chance, please rate our show on iTunes or leave us a comment. The way iTunes works is the more ratings, the more comments the show gets, the popular it becomes. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook at Run With Soul. Feel free to leave us a message. Let us know what you think of the show. Give us as much feedback as you can. We love feedback. We want to make it a show that you guys really want to listen to on a weekly basis. On this episode, we're going to be speaking to Phil Benave. He is the legend that likes to run half marathons and marathons in sandals, and he is the guy that dropped Reedy like a sack of potatoes in the Canberra Marathon in a pair of Roman sandals. So we're going to have a quick chat to him. We're also going to be chatting to Olympian and 10K champion Ben St Lawrence. We're going to review some races around the corner. We're also going to be reviewing some races from the weekend. All that and more coming up right now.
Welcome back.
Mate, thank you very much. It's nice to be back.
Fresh off the plane.
Mate, fresh off the plane. I've had 9 days in tropical North Queensland, living the absolute dream. I've put on about 4 kilos, and I haven't done any running.
Oh, and when I say fresh off the plane, I mean he has literally come straight from the airport.
I'm stuffed. I'm absolutely stuffed. But unfortunately, I've got to shoot off to Fiji on Thursday, so this is the only time we've got to record this great show.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know, it's a hard life.
Sun,
a hard life.
more sun.
We'll talk about why I'm in Fiji a little bit later, because that's one of the races we're going to review around the corner. But first things first, what's news with you? Jules didn't make the team?
She didn't make the marathon team, no, unfortunately. I think she probably finished in 4th place, which is not a nice place where you want to finish. But anyway, she was stoked just to run that good time for her first marathon. And she'll have another crack shortly, and hopefully she goes a little bit quicker. That's always the name of the game.
Look out, Gold Coast.
Look out, Yeah, Goldie, that's the plan at this stage. She's a little bit crook this week. She's got the flu at the moment, so she's had a week off, and you know, it just can disrupt your preparation. But hopefully, you know, it might be a good thing. Might be a blessing in disguise.
And, yeah, it could be. Getting sick sometimes is a good thing. It sort of forces you to slow down a bit, as we all know.
Yeah.
Now, you've got some good news for us.
I do. I was just about to say I got married, but I became a bride. Yeah.
You got married?
Oh, I became a bride. I was a bridesmaid, wasn't I, in the last episode? We were talking about that. It was my run of silvers, but went up to Port Stephens last week and went up there for the triathlon,
which
turned out to be a duathlon.
Oh, so no swim.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it?
Doesn't that suit you?
Oh, it helped. It helped. So, yeah, luckily, it was no swim. Turned out to be a 4K beach run instead of a 1,500 metre swim. Suited me right up my alley.
Perfect.
Yeah. I half contemplated going in the open at one stage when I heard it had been canned.
Wow.
I was like, maybe I should go in the open.
Ooh, and backing yourself. I like it.
Yeah, but then I started thinking, don't get greedy.
Don't get greedy, Reedy.
And I was like, no, I just want to try and get a win here. So,
okay.
Yeah, managed to win my age group and finish 4th overall, so very happy. It was a day for me. Yeah.
So if you'd gone opens, you would have got 4th.
I would have got 4th, so I think it's better.
No, that's good. How much did you get 4th by?
I was off 30 seconds off the podium, overall, and managed to win. There was a guy that was really giving it to me at one stage in my age group, so I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to go back and tell Reedy I've got second again.
Yeah.
I was like coming second through until about halfway in the bike leg and managed to pass the other.
Do you think he's the good swimmer that keeps getting you?
No, they're different people.
Okay.
It's ironic.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
But it was my day, as the bride says. It was
good
my
on
day
ya.
last Sunday.
Finally, someone on this great program can get us on the podium.
Mate, yeah. What about you? What's happening?
Mate, things aren't great. I'm as devastated as I am. I just don't think Gold Coast is going to have to happen anymore. I think I'm still going to go up there, be support crew. I've got a lot of people racing and running, and it's just a fantastic event. They put on the airport marathon's just such a good day. Well, a good couple of days. It's a full weekend festival, but I just don't think I'm going to be right to race. Like, I went away and I packed my runners all in the hope
good intentions.
Yeah, good intentions. I had great intentions, and we got up there and it was just literally got off the plane straight into bungee jumping, straight into whitewater rafting. Then the next day we were out on the Great Barrier Reef for a full day. Like, I'm talking 6 o'clock starts, 7 o'clock starts, sometimes earlier. And then from there, the very next Monday, we were in the car forward driving all the way to Cape York, and it was just, there was never an opportunity for me to go running. I think I had about 15 minutes of free time, and I've put on about 4 kilos.
Mate, you look well. You look better for it. You've got the tropical North Queensland glow about you.
I feel good. I don't feel fit, but I feel good. So, look, the plan is to get in the pool in the morning, have a swim, see how I go there. I'm going to have a run tomorrow, Arvo, see how I'm feeling. But we had a couple of big nights on the drink, and that usually slows me down a little bit.
That's what I was going to ask you about next.
Yeah,
How was it being in Queensland when State of Origin's on and you get done?
Mate, it was brutal. We're actually in the Weeper Golf Club, and they had it on the big screen, and yeah, there was a lot of maroon jerseys there. I think there was about 4 of us from New South Wales, and it was a close game.
Yeah.
So, but
Managed to get out alive?
Yeah, just. I just left straight after the siren went.
Why wouldn't you?
But it would have been nice although we probably would have been worse off had New South Wales won.
True. True.
The cane toads up there, they get angry when they lose.
It would have got ugly. Weeper would be a real country town, wouldn't it?
We'd be weeping, that's for sure. But, mate, otherwise, the whole trip in a whole was amazing. I got to go do this. It's all going to be on TV. Probably in the next 6 to 8 weeks, but to go travelling with Corey, one of my best mates, and we had Miss World there, who ended up being a legend. I was a bit apprehensive to see how she was going to go, because I knew we were going to be roughing it, but she was probably a bit tougher than me and Corey. She took to the bungee very well.
What's her name?
Her name's Courtney Thorpe. She, me and Corey became good friends with her. She's, when you spend a lot of time with someone like stuck in a car for 9 days, you obviously, you get to know them pretty well. And mate, it was a really fun trip. She wasn't that good on the ocean, but we went out on the Great Barrier Reef. She got a bit sick, which wasn't great. But
popping some sick pills. What are those?
No, because once you're sick, the sick pills don't work. So. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, mate, great trip. But yeah, I'm still up in the air about Gold Coast. We'll see what happens. It's Fiji. Fiji's going to be another drinkathon too. I'm over there. Like I said, we'll talk about it a bit later. It's the international triathlon over there, and I'm over there on the mic for that, which should be fun. But the 100% events crew over there that look after the event, they love a drink. And Tracy, the Rego manager, and Laura.
Is Tracy going over?
Yeah, the whole team goes over, and mate, you're in Fiji, like it's the cocktail capital of the world. It's going to be a few drinks over there, so I dare say slipping the runners on at 5 o'clock in the morning after a big night on the cocktails will be tough. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Enough about me.
Have you got your birthday coming up during the week?
I do. Wednesday night.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
We're off to Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
I always like to do things different for my birthday. I don't like just going to the pub and getting on the piss. So.
I've got my riff-raff wig.
Have you?
Yeah, I'll be donning it on Wednesday night.
I'm excited to see you all dressed up.
Oh, well, you can't wait.
We've got a big team going, so it should be fun. Mate, moving on.
Mate, just one other thing I wanted to talk about. We're getting a lot of feedback about your little your voice last week.
What was the
good feedback?
Oh, good feedback.
I actually had a call from Ricky Martin saying he's still got one spot left on his team for the voice. And he wants you in. Seriously.
Good old Ricky, eh? How did you get Ricky's private line?
Mate, he got in touch with me.
Really?
Yeah, he's been listening to the show and just said, I really want to get Ricky. I've got one spot left and I think he could be the man for it.
It's funny you got that sort of feedback because I pretty much got the complete opposite. People said they turned the podcast off as soon as I was into my second line of my song. So I don't know if they were listening to the same thing.
Ricky said it was so bad, it was good.
It was so bad, it was good. That's awesome. Now, just for the listeners, I'll let you know, I assure you I will never, ever sing again.
Never say never.
Never say never, but I'm pretty sure I'll never, ever sing again. That was absolutely horrendous. Let's move on to the races that we've had on the weekend. Now, as you know, I've been away. I've had my head in waterfalls and pubs and bars up in North Queensland, so I'm going to leave it all up to you. But I do know the Balmoral Burn was on. It's a 400-metre sprint up a hill, isn't it?
420 metres.
420 straight up.
Straight up a Wabba.
How many times have you run up that hill?
Do you know I've never run up it? I've walked up it a couple of times, but I've never run up it, I'm happy to say.
Kidding me? You're from Balmoral Tri Club. You live and breathe and bleed Balmoral. And you've never run up the steepest street?
No, never.
Wow. And you're a runner?
And I'm a runner.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
Well, tell us what happened. Who won?
Tell us. It was taken out by James Gurr in a time of 1:19, which is pretty bloody good. I think he's coached by John Adderton. He's a great man.
Wow. He's obviously a 400-metre sprinter.
He's a 4.8 runner, James Gurr.
Okay.
And he got home. He won the title, and he took it. He was 3 seconds ahead, which is a pretty good gap. But actually, 3 seconds on that hill is nothing.
Really?
Like 3 seconds is literally from me to you. That's how long it takes you to run. 3 seconds.
No way.
You should see it. It's the strangest thing. You've got these fit athletes who are absolutely wobbling to the finish line at the end of it. I see it. It's the cruelest thing.
I want to go do it. It looks like a great race. I'm just never around for it. I missed out last year, and I've seen Matty Harris is on the mic, and he's always fun.
Loves it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another good spectacle of that race is the wheelchairs.
What do the wheelchairs do?
They have a wheelchair race, and they go
up the hill,
and honestly, you should see them. They are going side to side. You talk about the zigzag, like especially up the top when they just go lactic in the arms.
Kidding me?
They are, yeah, it is the best thing to watch.
That's amazing.
So if you ever go to the Burn, watch the wheelchairs because it is spectacular.
I'm going to put it in the diary for next year. I'm going to block it out, so I'm always here. They raise a bit of money too for the
They
Humpty Dumpty
raise a lot of
Foundation.
money. I'm not sure exactly how much, but this is their 15th year.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a great race. So
That's
James
awesome.
Gurr, I'm pretty sure he's won it before. He won by 3 seconds from Mason Cohen, and third was Jared West.
Okay.
In 1:23. Now Jared is a good bloke. He's from the Northern Beaches. I'm not saying the other two blokes aren't, but actually, I did. There's a race over on the Northern Beaches called the Pub to Pub Fun Run, and it's a 14k run.
You've won that.
And actually, I was lucky to win it last year again. And Jared West came third in that to me, and he was only 8 seconds behind us. He was flashing home.
Okay.
But he's an 800 metre runner, and he recently just got a bronze medal over in the Bahamas for the World Relay Championships in the 4x800. So
a legend.
He is a bit of a legend. So he was third. In the ladies, it was Alicia Kerr. She won it in 1:42 from Annalise Ruby.
Okay.
Now, she's in the same stable as James Kerr. I'm pretty sure she gets coached by John Adderton.
Okay.
He's a great coach. And third was Susie Walsham. Now, I was surprised to see this name still going around. She has been
How old is she?
Honestly, I don't want to, you know, you don't get ladies' name.
We'll get abused.
Our ratings will go down. But honestly, I reckon she'd have to be close to 40.
Okay.
And she was a champion runner as a junior, a bit like Eloise Wellings. She used to run barefoot. She was very famous for running barefoot on the track, Susie Walsham. And she went across to stair running and has won the Empire State Building, the Empire Run a couple of times.
Straight up the stairs there.
Straight up the stairs.
How many
She's been like the
stairs
world
is that?
champion for that. I'm not sure, but that's been her forte for the last couple of years, and she's been cleaning up on that circuit.
Okay.
And then today I see her name in the results in the Balmoral Burn, finishing third, only a second off the win. So
Awesome.
she's had a long career.
Just goes to show it doesn't matter how old you are. It's if you've still got it, you've still got it.
And actually, speaking of that, I want to go into the Prefontaine meet. The 10,000 metres, which is, I have to say, the classical event there at the Prefontaine meet.
Give us a little bit of history about the Prefontaine meet. I don't know much about it.
Well, it's got to, I don't know a hell of a lot about it, but all we know, we both know about Prefontaine, who was a champion American distance runner.
Got a movie about him?
Got a movie about him, yeah. He was very popular with the ladies and very good runner, a bit of a wild boy, a bit like yourself, really. There's a lot of similarities, blonde.
It's my flatmate's favourite movie, actually. I should know it. He tries to get me to watch it every time, but I'm usually asleep by 8:30.
So, this is, he's been a legend over there in Prefontaine, Steve Prefontaine, as you got the movie. It was taken out by Mo Farah, who is the double Olympic champion for the 5,000, 10,000 metre.
What's the distance for this particular race?
For this one, was the 10. There were a couple of distances.
Okay.
There was a 10,000, there was a 5,000, there was a mile steeple. All over. A 200, even a 200. Gatlin won the 200 in 1968, which is a bloody fast time.
Yeah, right.
But the 10,000 metres was won by Mo Farah in 26:50.
Wow. That's on a track, yeah?
That's on a track, yeah. So it's 26:50. That's the leading time this year for 10,000 metres.
That's an easy qualifier for the Olympics, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's a qualifier for him for whatever he wants.
Yeah, whatever he wants.
Mate.
He just gets a free ride in there, doesn't he?
Ride.
Yeah.
So that was 4 seconds off his PB.
Okay.
But I heard he was I heard he was a bit disappointed. He crossed the line. Don't think he was really happy with the time. Poor thing.
Oh, poor guy.
We'd like that.
26. Yeah, right. Wow.
And then in the 5,000 metres, same meet, it was won by a young 17-year-old bloke.
Okay.
Took it out. Beat all the seniors. Yeah.
Where's he from?
He is from Ethiopia, and this bloke, I've got to get his name right. Kajelcha.
Kajelcha.
Yeah, Kajelcha. Yomif Kajelcha. He powered home the last 200 metres to win in a time of 13:10, which is not overly fast. It was a little bit tactical. They slowed it up mid-race. But yeah, he ended up winning the race. Massive for him in a 15-second PB. And he won. Galen Rupp, probably the best American distance runner, got third overall. He was 13:12.
Okay.
But another notable performance was the guy who came fourth, Bernard Legat. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bernard Legat.
No.
He's a champion Kenyan runner who has come second and third in the 1,500 metre in the last in 2 Olympics, and he broke the 40-year-old Masters world record with a time of 13:14.
Wow.
And smashed it by like 30 seconds.
Wow. That's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. Imagine that, a 40-year-old. He's in my age group. I'd be running against him. 13, 14. He'd probably be 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, close to 3 minutes ahead of me jumping onto the bike.
Let's hope to God he doesn't take up triathlon.
He wouldn't even need to ride well, would he? He could have training wheels on.
He could ride his
He could probably even swim.
Run his ride.
Worse. Oh, he probably would swim worse.
Oh, that's awesome.
So another bloke, gentleman we had in that race was an Australian, Collis Birmingham.
Oh, yep.
One of Ben St Lawrence's arch rivals. And he finished with a time of 13:16 17.
Okay, that's not
Which is
too
qualified for the World Championships over in Beijing.
bad. And I guess he'll be taking that?
He'll be taking it,
Yep.
I'd say. He'll be joining Benny on the plane. But he'll be in the 5, Ben will be in the 10.
Good stuff.
There was another Australian in that race also, Dave McNeil. We may have mentioned him on one of our last episodes. He ran in the 5,000 metres. He ran 13:40. He was the guy that did 27:45:01. So in Ben's race,
that's
missed
right.
by 100
Just
of a
missed
second.
out, yeah,
so
of course.
he's run 13:40 here. I think he'd be a little bit disappointed with that. So
Yeah.
that was Prefontaine. Just a very rough, some rough results there, but I think it's
That's all right.
something for us and for the listeners. And also yesterday we had the New South Wales cross country relay championships.
Oh, yep.
Which is 4x4K, and that was held at Miranda. And
When you say 4x4K, what do you mean there? What they do? How does that work?
well, it's 4 kilometres. You have 4 people on the team. The first person does 4 kilometres.
Oh, sorry, it's a okay. Sorry,
It's a relay, yeah.
Right, okay,
and it's 2K loops, and it's a very tough little course at Miranda down there. And it was taken out by Randwick Botany, and they've got a pretty good history of taking that event out, and they won from Sydney Uni.
Did you do it? Did you ever do any cross country in your time?
Oh, mate, I did that a couple of times. And this is the saddest story. I won the road relays. I think I won the road relays 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But never managed to win there at Miranda. And one year I was in front. I went last leg at Miranda, and it was a mud bath. I ran with 2 spikes on to start off with, and I had a lead of about 30 metres over Sean Williams. This is back in 1999, 2000. And, oh, mate, the whole crowd is there. Just everyone's yelling and screaming. I'm like, you're running so scared. And I've got it's a lead, but it's probably even worse having a 30-metre lead. It's like, there's only one way to go. And backwards. Anyway, went balls to the walls first, the first lap for the first 2K.
Blew up.
And managed to just keep Sean at the same distance. Anyway, I managed to lose one of my spikes on the first lap in the mud, just got sucked up. So I'm running with one spike on, one, barefoot on the other. Second lap, he started slowly winding me in, and he got me with about 100 metres to go.
No.
And nabbed me on the line coming down the little zigzag at the end. So,
Outkicked you.
oh, man, I was devoed. You just feel bad for your teammates.
Oh, was that the end of your cross country career after that?
Nah, yeah, it was close to it. It took me a while to get over there. So, that was on the weekend. Also, another notable performance was Craig Alexander ran there, triathlon champion.
Oh, okay.
He ran in a 4 by the over 35s team.
Okay. And they take it out?
And they took it out, for Sutherland with a couple of his mates, I guess, that he runs with on the weekends.
Yeah.
Signed
okay.
him up and, got the win.
Wow. Imagine having Crow in your team. That'd be pretty cool.
And he ran well. He ran
Yeah.
13:45.
Oh, let's not forget about the sprint.
And it's
finish he had
muddy.
with Sam Appleton, not that long ago.
And I hear Sam also tweeted he's doing Cairns. So
Appo?
Appo did. Sorry, Appo did. Said that Craig Alexander's racing up at Cairns in the 70.3.
Ooh, okay. That
So
should be a good
that's
little...
in 3 weeks. We'll keep an eye on that one.
He might be able to get a bit of redemption.
Revenge
Appo.
is always sweet.
It is, and Appo's in very good form, as we know.
Yeah, Alexander went well, though. on the weekend.
Okay. Yeah, the old master versus the young gun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there you go. A couple of results from the weekend.
It's cool.
Everyone's flying.
Yeah, like I said, I've had my head in the clouds. But what you did manage to snag was an interview for us with Phil Benave.
I'm looking forward to this.
Well, we're going to get him on the line in a second, but just for listeners at home that don't know, Phil, he got a little bit of traction on social media when I mentioned it, and then the guys from the Naked Runners have mentioned it, and someone managed to get a photo of, is it Scott Imhoff?
Scott Imhoff, yeah.
Scott Imhoff running in the Sydney Morning Herald half, and there he is.
Just ahead of him, I think. He was in the photo with Diego Scott.
He went past Scott in his jandals. This guy runs in jandals, and they don't even have a backstrap. And so there's this photo of him on the net, and everyone's being tagged in it, and we're just like, we found him. And thanks to social media, we've managed to track him down, and Dean's added him on Facebook and said, listen, mate, we want to have a chat to you.
Well, he hasn't added me back yet, but he's replying to my messages.
He doesn't want to be
honestly,
your
I
friend.
think he's got about 8 mates, or maybe something. It's pretty low.
Yeah. But I mean, it's probably because he's
choosy, mate. He's not going to
Yeah.
add any old Tom, Dick,
Oh,
and Harry.
no, that's right. Some people like their privacy, which I'm stoked he wants to have a chat to us. So,
Look forward to this one.
yeah, let's get him on the line now. G'day, mate. How you going? It's Reedy here, and also Dean from Run with Soul, mate. How you going?
Good day, Phil.
Mate, we just wanted to get you on the show and have a quick chat to you, I guess, about you and your running, and mate, you obviously like it. You run very well, and the fact that you run in sandals, mate, it's pretty cool. Where did you start running?
Oh, I've been running since school. I was doing pretty well when I was at uni, but then when I started work, I cut back and only did the city to surf. But just a few years ago, I put on too much weight when I went to Malaysia, and I decided the best way to get rid of it was to get a bit serious about running.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. We share the same thing. I was an overweight teenager, and the best way to lose it was start running. So I took up running myself, mate. What do you do for work, Phil?
I work at a hospital. I do vision tests.
Oh, okay. Right, gotcha. And
I live close enough to be able to run back and forth. Actually, I don't have a car. Running's the best way to get everywhere.
it is
Good work, mate. Like a Kenyan, like an African.
yeah, mate.
And the shoes are slippers. They're like rubber slippers.
Yeah, they are. They're like so more.
Reedy has seen them firsthand, Philip. Actually, he saw them when you passed him in the Canberra Marathon this year. Earlier,
It was at about the 32K mark, I think. I'm sure you probably passed a lot of people. What time did you do, Phil, for that Canberra Marathon?
I did the ultra. That's why I was behind you.
that's why, Reedy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Mate, you went past me that quick, I didn't even see your bib.
How good's that?
I did 3 hours 20.
3 hours 20 for 50K.
No, that was for the marathon, was it? 3 hours and 20? Did you do?
The 50.
Did you do the 50 in 3 hours and 20 seconds?
20 minutes.
Okay.
And 20 minutes?
Came in 10th.
Sorry, was that 3 hours and 20 minutes or
Yeah.
20 seconds?
20 minutes.
Yeah,
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
That's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, mate, that is absolutely phenomenal. Mate, can you tell us a little bit about why you prefer to run in the slippers?
Well, they're so easy to get in and out of. You don't have to bother with socks or doing up your shoes. And I've been, it's pretty much all I've used to run and bike ride and do everything for 20 odd years.
So it's just what you find so comfortable is just slippers. It's just easier, I guess. No, you don't get any.
Well, they're about the closest you could get to not wearing shoes, but still have protection on your feet.
Gotcha.
They're all open and they're very light, and I get them sort of a small size. So when I put my foot in, they grip my foot and they don't come off.
Yeah, right.
Have they ever come off, Phil, when you have been racing or running?
No.
No, you've just got it down pat now. You're just so used to it from training that they just don't come off.
Yeah, no, they're good. I've got a good model at the moment.
You got a good model.
Well, the only trouble is that you can't rely on supply because they're all sorts of brands from China. It's whatever I run across.
So how much do you pay for these things?
Well, the range is from $4 to $12.
Mate,
That's so good.
If I can get them at Budget Booters, then I get them for $4.
$4, and how long does a pair last you for?
Well, I've got a racing pair.
A racing pair. I like that. So you got like flats and trainers.
Well,
you know, they're like compare it.
When they start to wear out, I cut bits off old ones and I patch them. So the shoes I can. Well, I started doing that when I was having trouble getting them. I didn't want to give any or throw any away, so I started patching them. So I've got training shoes that have been patched, and that keeps me going.
Mate, that's it's just.
I just get the contact cement and paste bits on the bottom where they start to wear out.
And you don't get any no sort of rubbing, no blisters or anything. Obviously, you're changing the dynamics of the shoe and you do that sort of stuff. It doesn't affect you at all. No, nothing at all.
Only if I haven't been running for a while.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But I've been keeping it up since I've had a pretty constant stretch since the Sydney Morning Herald run last year.
Last year,
I got a bit out of shape when I went to Malaysia again at the beginning of last year, and it took me to the city to surf to really get going again.
Okay.
Since then, I've kept up form. And actually, at the moment, I'm probably as good as I've been for a few years because I'm getting ready for the 24-hour run in a couple of weeks.
Oh, tell us a little bit about that. What's the 24-hour run?
There's running around. It's out at Campbelltown Sports Stadium or something, and you running around the track.
On the track
for 24 hours. Yeah.
Kidding me?
So I'm hoping I can get over 200 clicks
on a track.
I've never done more than 50 in a race before, but I thought it was. I've always sort of felt like I can run I like to run long distances. It's a shame that they don't have things like they don't have the Sydney to Melbourne. That'd be a great race.
My God, you'd be like the new Cliffy Young, but in sandals instead of gumboots.
Yeah.
How good would that be? Can I ask you, what are your PBs, a couple of your PBs? Because we don't know much about your running ability except for that marathon. And also, you recently did the Sydney Morning Herald half, which is how we saw some more photos of you. What time did you do, a couple of weeks ago in that?
Just over 77.
Wow.
Mate, I'd be hard-pressed, beating you at the moment in racing flats, in my hyperspeeds.
Well, I don't feel there's any difference between running in the slip.
No, you wouldn't.
In flats.
Yeah.
I haven't raced in proper running shoes since maybe 15, 20 years ago. But I did when I was at uni. I did the Melbourne Marathon in 2:43, and then
Was that in with the slippers?
Yeah, no, that was before I started the slippers.
Okay.
I'm still doing 2:43. I did the Canberra Marathon in 2011 in 2:43 too.
Wow.
Can I ask how old you are, Phil? Because I think you've been around a few years.
48.
48. Wow, and you're still running those times. You'd have to be very competitive in your age group.
I think I'm getting better too.
I think you are too, mate. What's your? You obviously sound like the City to Surf's a bit of a favourite race for you. That's coming up, mate. What's your PB for City to Surf?
I'm afraid I haven't got the speed back. I used to easily do it in under 50, but these days I've done this the last 3 times I've taken it seriously. I can't get up that hill quick enough.
In the slippers.
Yeah, I do the first 6Ks in sort of a 3:30 average pace, and then I get to the hill and it slows me right down.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've been doing just over 50. But I'm looking at the longer distances at the moment. I've got a 100K race coming up.
Gotcha.
And I'm just running everywhere.
What's the 100K race you got coming up, Phil?
There's one that just runs around and around Centennial Park.
Oh, okay.
Ultra.
You're going to do that one too?
Mm.
We might come out and give you a cheer. I reckon we should, Reedy.
100%.
Reedy and I will come out and give you a cheer, mate.
Where do they run that? Is it on the concrete or they do that?
It's around the white fence.
No, it's just inside the white fence.
Ah, okay, right, gotcha. And you're going to be running that, obviously. So shoes are out now for you. Every race, every training, it's all just in the slippers.
Oh, I don't own a pair of shoes.
Mate, that's unreal.
Don't need them.
Shoes are for work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mate, someone said that you used to do a bit of barefoot running. Is that true?
No.
No, never. Always.
I run around golf courses in bare feet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Why?
It's too much risk. You don't know what you run over. I have enough trouble stopping myself falling over and kicking my toe and doing that sort of thing. So I wouldn't run barefoot. Except this 24-hour race, I've got it in mind that I'll see what the track's like and maybe I'll do it in bare feet. You
might do the track in bare feet.
Take them off
for 24 hours. You don't think you'll do a bit of damage to your feet before your 100K?
I don't know. I don't know. It's all unknown territory for me.
Yeah, gotcha.
I haven't done anything like that before.
Okay. And what's your?
But I think I've got the endurance to do it. I used to ride my bike a lot. I used to do Sydney to Melbourne, and I've done Sydney to Adelaide. But these days it's not safe enough. There's too many cars, too many four-wheel drives, etc. So I stick with the running.
That's fair enough.
You're dead right there, mate. I ride a bike too, and I hate doing it around Sydney, especially. You're in Sydney, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Maroubra, you're around the eastern suburbs?
I used to live at Maroubra. Now I live in Kensington.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's your training week looking like? What's your average training week looking like leading into the 24-hour race and the 100K race?
It's been variable. You know how after Canberra there was a bit of a wet week, and then it started getting cold, so it was a bit hard to get out because I've got a family and 3 kids, work full time. It's only the early morning that I can do it, and this time of year it starts getting a bit tough.
Gotcha.
But
yeah.
But sometimes you get into the groove, and even if it's not if it's cold, and I'm prepared to I'm sort of motivated, and just this last few days, I think I'm getting there.
Okay.
I did a 6.5 hour overnight run the other day.
Where do you run for 6.5 hours overnight?
Well, I was trying to run up to my dad's place. He's out at Borkham Hills.
Okay.
But I didn't quite make it. I only got as far as the Concord Road, the Ryde Bridge. Ran over there, then I ran back around to Parramatta River Bays.
Okay.
And do you have any structured training, Phil, that you do? Do you do like sessions, or is it just mainly running? You said you run to work and back.
Yeah, I'm still a bit scared of speed training and timing myself, so I usually run. I don't have a watch. I just go whatever seems best at the time.
However you feel, run off feel, and just, mate, you're inspiring me. It's all about consistency, isn't it? Is that what you think?
Yeah, and not having a car makes a huge difference.
That is a real plus if you want to,
I run the kids around, and then I run down, get groceries. There's no supermarkets at Kensington, so I run down to East Lakes and places like that.
Wow, in your sandals, you must get some looks.
And run back with the bags full of goods.
Oh,
That's
mate.
good training, isn't it?
You're a machine, mate. I'll tell you what, you're very, very inspiring, Phil. I think a lot of people could take a leaf out of your book. It just goes to show that, and that's the beauty, I think, of the sport of running is you don't need all the bells and whistles. You don't need to go and spend $300 on a pair of shoes. You just need to get out there and get moving, don't you?
Yeah, and when you've done enough, when you start getting the strength, it just feels so good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It just takes time.
I see all the cars out there and you think, well, these people are missing their opportunities to have a run.
Yeah.
That's why I won't even catch the bus. I put the family on the bus sometimes when we're going far, and I'll meet them at the other end just because I don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you look at all the uni students that come in here, they just come in bus after bus,
Yeah.
and they're all young, and you think, oh, when I was at uni, I used to pack the bag and run into the row. I went down to Wollongong Uni, and I'd be running around with a full backpack just to get places. And that's what people should be doing.
They should.
Yeah.
You're dead right.
Phil, have you...
And one more thing, that the standard has gone down.
In running?
Yeah,
I'd second that.
I did the Melbourne Marathon in 1989, I think it was, and I came 70th running 2:43, and when I ran 2:43 in the Canberra Marathon a few years ago, I came 10th. So that's how much it's changed.
Yeah, even the Sydney Morning Herald half, no offence to like the 4th, 5th and 6th place getters, but, 4th was in 71 minutes. Like a few years ago, that wouldn't have got you in the top 15, maybe.
Yeah, well, that Matthew Cox that came...
Got third.
Third.
Yeah.
He came third. He's been going in it, and I've noticed he's getting similar times, but he used to run around 10th.
Yeah.
And now he's gotten third.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess it goes up and down with the top runners.
Yeah, the depth's not like it was back in the maybe in the 80s and 90s.
Do you think it should be because our population's rising? You think we'd have more people running, especially because it's,
But it's this propagation of the cars.
Yeah.
One generation after the other generation. A lot of kids, they don't know anything different.
That's right. You're dead right, mate. Yeah.
And when I was back in the mid 80s, I was doing triathlons, and it was a great time to be involved in the running, and there seemed to be there were groups around here. I remember do the Talays runs.
What was it called?
The Talays run.
No, never heard of it.
There used to be the shop at Clovelly, and then one week they'd go up to Bondi, the next week they'd go down to Maroubra, and it was great training.
Yeah. Philip, have you, just getting off that subject, have you converted anyone else to run in slippers?
I get asked just about every run I go in, and they say, "Oh, how do you keep those on?" They're amazing, but no, except for my son. I've got two sons, and one seems to be able to wear them no trouble, and the other one can't.
Can't get out of his way.
It's just I think the slippers, you can either run in them or you can't.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fine art.
So one's picked up your genes and the other one hasn't?
Yeah, and the one that has is quite a little.
He goes all right.
He's going to do pretty well.
What?
He's got his athletics carnival.
You better watch out. He might be coming after your PBs.
Looking forward to his 800.
And the slippers.
Well, they don't let them wear that sort of thing at school.
Oh, they wouldn't, of course. Yeah, right.
No, they, of course, got to be covered, feet covered.
Wow.
What about, I was going to ask you, you must have had some strange looks in the past when you go past people in these races running like 77 minutes and, 2:43 marathons.
I was one of them. I gave you a very strange look, Phil, when you went past, because I was blowing up at the time. I'd taken it out way too fast, and you ran past me very quickly. And I thought you were just doing the standard marathon. I didn't even know you were doing the ultra. So.
Do you know what, Phil? I'm not kidding you. When I spoke to him after the race, the first thing he said to me was, Dino, you're not going to believe this. He said, I had a bad day at the office, okay, I blew up. But what really hurt me the most, he said, was this guy came past me running in sandals. And he said, that just devastated me.
I thought you were running down the shop to get the paper, Phil. I seriously thought you were running down the shop. I was like, this guy can't be in the race.
You must break a lot of people's hearts.
There was a really funny blog from when I did the Canberra Marathon in 2011. I'd beaten Brendan Davies time-wise.
He's a good ultra runner.
He came in front of me by the clock, but I started in the middle of the field.
So your chip time.
Preferred runners started, so I just started with the pack, and that 1 minute made the difference between me getting in front of him and getting 10th place.
Wow.
He wasn't that happy about it. But
That's
he
a scalp.
He started the blog. It was the Cool Runnings blog, and all these people commented on, couldn't believe this guy ran past me, squish, 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 because it was in the rain. And then another guy commented, he looked like he was going down for a fish or...
And you've got the hat too, haven't you? Do you don the hat when you race?
Yeah, I always wear the hat, the bucket hat.
The bucket hat and the slippers. Yeah. It's a great look.
Mate.
And you're getting a bit of interest even off the Sun Telly's been in touch with you recently, you said, and the Sun Herald. So you're getting a bit of mainstream kind of interest.
You might.
Yeah, they get in touch with me, but then they realise that I'm actually not a bad competitor, and I think they're sort of conscious of their sponsors. Because every race is sponsored by
a
shoe company. Yeah.
Speaking of sponsors, there is someone out there that has told me that they do have interest in wanting to sponsor you, and it's McGrath. I don't know if you've seen the McGrath singlets around. You may have seen Harry Summers, Victoria Mitchell, and a few others from the Sweat, Sean Williams training group. But yeah, he sponsors people, and I think he's keen to get to don a singlet on you. So I'll have to get in touch with you regarding that.
Mm. Yeah, I need a decent singlet to run in.
Oh, good one, mate. He'd be honoured to have you wear it.
I went to school when John McGrath was at Sydney Boys.
Okay, well, there you go.
He was a couple of years ahead of me.
Okay.
Mate, I'll tell you what, I mean, running aside and your amazing racing and your PBs and all that sort of stuff, I really like the fact that you're inspiring people to get out there and go running. It doesn't matter. You know, like what you were saying before about how more people need to get off the bus and get walking. It really reminded me of my mum used to make me and my sisters walk to school, and it wasn't just around the corner. It was, 5K from where we lived to our school, and we used to have to do it every day and learn the times table on the way. And I think that a lot more parents should be trying to get kids to do that. Like you said, it gets passed on from generation to generation that the car is the easy option, and let's take that. Well, people call me crazy, but I think eventually we're going to run out of oil, and, it's going to get to a point where we're going to have to walk and we're going to have to run places. And I think that, what you do is very inspiring, and it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you today, Phil. And, I'm looking forward to following your next couple of adventures in the 24-hour race and the 100K race.
Okay.
Likewise, I second all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to have a go at the shoes, when you run into me, I can slip you a pair.
Mate, that'd be great. What's the make? Is there a brand of the shoes?
Well, the best ones that I've been wearing come from Kmart.
Okay.
They're a surf slipper or something.
Okay, ready?
They cost $12.
Mate, I'm actually gonna get out there and try.
He's a lifeguard too, by the way.
Killing off my supply by giving you the secret information.
I
better go out and snap up a few.
You better.
The sale's going to go up.
Mate, it's been an absolute honour. I reckon I'm definitely going to come out to Centennial Park and watch you get around in the 100K race, that's for sure. We'll do a little live chat to you down there, Phil. That'd be great.
Okay, I've got to get through this 24-hour one first.
What's the date for the 24-hour one?
It's 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that one.
If we can get out there, mate, we will. Otherwise, we'll see you at Centennial Park.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You'd be the only one cheering me on, mate.
No, we won't be the other one. You're getting quite a bit of a fan base out there, I run Centennial Park a lot, and a lot of people have been talking to me about you after listening to our show.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Actually, I've got a race in Centennial Park next weekend too. There's 3 Chinmoys.
Oh, yeah, you'll be there? Okay, is that Sunday morning?
Yeah, it's a half marathon, yeah.
Okay, I might be there too, doing my long run with Sean's group, so I'll look out for you there too.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Thanks, Phil. Cheers.
Righto.
Bye.
Bye.
What a lovely guy Phil was.
Oh, he's a champion.
Yeah, he's I just love how he's inspiring people just to get out there and go running. It doesn't, like we said before, it doesn't matter how expensive your shoes are. If you're getting out there and you're getting moving, it's
such a good attitude.
Yeah, great attitude. I think the world needs a lot more people like him. Now, speaking of champions, we've got your former flatmate and
teammate, St George Athletics Club.
Yeah,
and even a training partner.
He's got a few records to his name.
Oh, he's got the big one, the Australian 10,000 metre record holder, 27:24.
And he's been to the Olympics.
He's been to the Olympics.
Raced some of the best ones.
He's actually got the tattoo. I think he's even got the tattoo. Yeah, he has got the tattoo.
Why wouldn't you get the tattoo?
Yeah.
Would you get the tattoo if you made it to the Olympics?
I probably would.
I'd get the rings.
Yeah.
Where would you get them?
I think Benny's got them on the ankle. I'll have to ask him that to see how good my knowledge is. But actually, we did a calendar together.
Did you?
Yeah, actually.
Calendar
for the listeners. Actually a naked nude calendar. we weren't together, obviously on separate months.
Okay,
he's January and I'm July.
Are you Mr. July?
I'm July. Oh. He's January. He started us off, but I'm pretty sure you can see his Olympic rings on it.
Were you already married before you were Mr. July?
Yeah, I was married. Yeah.
Oh,
she let me run off and do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Got a lead pass.
Mate, I'd probably get him on my butt cheek.
Would ya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
You know, if I go on to see him, they'd have to get my pants off. Too far.
It's too easy.
Too easy.
That's
Mate,
not even a challenge.
mate, let's get Benny on the line. Let's get to know him.
Sounds good.
Benny, what's happening, mate? We're live now, recording. Looking forward to getting to know you very well today. What's
Yeah, looking forward to it.
mate? What's news with you?
Yeah, back in Sydney now. Spent a bit of time training and competing over in the US, and then did a half marathon in Japan. But often this time of year, I'm over in Europe training and racing. But I decided to come back to Sydney and prepare for the World Championships back here, mostly in Centennial Park.
Okay, we noticed that you qualified very closely, but it's you left what 1/100th of a second or something in it.
Yeah, I think
I had more than that.
Yeah, I had to go under 27:45, and I ran 27:44.2, so just snuck under. And unfortunately, there was an Aussie just behind me, Dave McNeil, who missed out by 1/100th of a second for qualifying for Beijing. So yeah, there wasn't much in it.
Ouch! Dino just mentioned him before. He didn't have was that who didn't have a great race in the 5K?
I mentioned earlier he did Prefontaine and he did 13:40, and I guess he wouldn't be really overly happy with that, would he, Benny?
No, that's not a true indication of the sort of runner that Dave is. You know, he's run 13:18. He was a London Olympian. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see much better from Dave later in this season. He was training with us over in Mount Laguna in the US, and yeah, he's in great shape. And unfortunately, didn't quite get it in that 10K. And obviously, something's happened in that race at Prefontaine. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see more of Dave later in the season.
Gotcha. Mate, Benny, I guess when we're starting with you, we want to sort of take it all the way back to where it all began for you as a runner.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about how running came into your life and how it all started. Where did it all come in? When did you decide that you wanted to be a runner? Was it early or just sort of start a bit later?
Yeah, I guess my story is a bit interesting in that I started really early. I think I was a little A's, you know, like a lot of Aussies. I did little A's when I was a youngster, about 6 or 7 years old. I think I first started. First did the city to surf when I was 8 years old. And
Did ya?
Always a pretty talented young runner and always loved it. But I competed a bit through high school and was competitive at a national level. But my goal was always to take it seriously when I finished high school. But after high school, I went out to university at Bathurst, and it's at Charles Sturt University out there, a great institution.
Sorry to interrupt you, Benny. Go back. You did your first city to surf at 8 years old.
8 years old, yeah.
Was that allowed?
yeah, it was allowed.
You can do it at 8?
I don't know if you still can. You definitely could back then.
Oh, I don't know if you could still do it at 8, unless you have to be accompanied by.
Yeah, I was accompanied by an adult.
Yeah, I think they'd probably make
After you dropped them for a little while.
What time did you do? Do you remember?
No, I can't remember. Yeah, I'd have to ask my mum. She's probably got it written down somewhere. But yeah, first did it when I was 8, and then did it quite a lot. You know, through. You know, I think I won an age group in the under 12s or something like that, or finished second in under 12s. And yeah, back then was. Came down from the Blue Mountains and saw that as this huge event. You know, it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
it's massive.
People, but when I went back and eventually won it in 2010, that for me was quite a surreal moment. Having run it when I was 8 years old and saw it as this huge thing, and then to cross the line first was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a pretty good notch to have under your belt. That.
Absolutely, yeah. Particularly as a Sydney sider, I think it's a good one to win.
Definitely, I'd say, yeah. I know what you're saying. I lived down in Melbourne for how I did, Benny, before I lived with you, and I just don't realise how big it actually is, do they? The Melbourne people up in here.
No, I think that's still amongst my friends probably my biggest running achievement. You know, they don't really get what a 27, 24, 10K means or anything like that, but they all know what the city to surf takes. So.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, to win it. Okay, I wonder what the youngest is that. I know you can push people in prams, but I wonder what the youngest is competitively to run it. You know, it's very cool. So, okay, sorry, mate, I didn't mean to interrupt you before, but that's
mate. He loves the city to surf. Don't start him on the city to surf.
But that's kind of what we want to know. We want to touch on stories like that. The fact that you did the city to surf at 8 years old, and then you went back in 2010 and you won it. Like that's.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen some photos of you, Benny, on Facebook, and I think your mum's got some young photos of you doing some fun runs, and you look like you're giving it your all.
Yeah, like I said, I just loved it. I love racing, and I still do. Raced through primary school quite a bit, and was always good at cross country and steeplechase and that sort of thing. And I didn't like training all that much. I was particularly through high school. I was pretty lazy and easily distracted, and didn't have great time management skills. But I always loved to race, even if I wasn't all that well prepared. But
what were the distractions? Girls, beer.
Yeah, all the usual. You know what it's like, Reedy.
Yeah,
he knows what it's like.
Easily distracted. Gotcha. So what happened? A lot of distractions. Didn't train.
Went to university and was trying to train and live the party lifestyle during the early part of my first year at university, and was always feeling guilty that I wasn't training, and would constantly be making deals with myself and making excuses, and eventually that got too much, and so instead of quitting drinking to focus on my running, I quit running so that I could
focus on your drinking.
Good to see you got your priorities right there.
And the idea was just to enjoy myself for a year and then recommit to running and hopefully get that out of my system. But once I got started with that lifestyle, it was pretty hard to change, and it all sort of snowballed. And 5 years later, I was about 20 kilos heavier and looked like running was never going to happen. And then I guess I kind of hit rock bottom with health, was getting sick a lot, and just decided to try to get fit again. So I bought a bike, was doing some riding, and started doing some jogging, and was in Melbourne when the Commonwealth Games were on at Craig Mottram. Ran an amazing 5K down there. I saw guys that I used to run against in school, like Nick Bromley, and guys that I considered I had a similar level of natural ability.
What was it?
Like that, and they were out there running for their country. So at that point, I thought, I wonder if I can get back, get to an elite level of running. So that's when I ended up moving to Sydney and moved in with you, Dino, and joined up with my coach, Sean Williams, and it all sort of started from there.
What year was that, Benny? Was that around 2006?
Yeah, 2007. 2006 was it? Yeah.
Com Games 2006 to 2007. So so it took you what, 4 or 5 years to get back to your best? 2011, you sort of started to.
Yeah. It was slow to start with, but once the ball got rolling, it all, for a few years there, it felt like almost every time I raced, I ran a little bit of a PB. So, yeah, I guess made my first national team in 2008 for a world cross country that was in Scotland, and then 2009 ran a B qualifier for the World Championships, but wasn't selected on the team. And then 2010 I made the Commonwealth Games for Delhi and finished 7th in the 5 and the 10 there. So I guess 4 years until I really sort of made it onto the international scene. Okay,
yeah, I saw that I saw a 13:10 in 2011 for the 5K. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then a 27.
That was a fantastic run too. Actually, that would have to be one of your highlights. Would it not be, Benny? That run?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's probably still my favourite race, even more so than setting the Australian record for the 10K, just because it was a big breakthrough. I was a bit of a nobody in that field. There was 4 or 5 sub 13-minute runners, and a lot of strong Americans came down to Melbourne to race us, and I challenged for the lead with a couple of hundred to go against Bernard Legat, a guy who had been a running hero of mine.
Yeah, we mentioned him earlier.
And knocked 15 seconds off my PB and ran 13:10, which at the time was second fastest all time behind Craig Mottram. Colin Birmingham has since nudged ahead of me again with a 13:09, but yeah, that was a massive breakthrough for me in 2011, and I'm yet to run any faster in the 5K.
Gotcha, that's a PB. And in the same year at the 27:24, that's the Australian record?
Yeah, that's right. That was over at Palo Alto, the same place I ran earlier this year at Stanford University. It's my lucky track, that one.
How good is that, running 2:44s in a row? That's so impressive when you look at it like that. Just running 2:44 and then just doing it back to back to back to back.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes I struggle to do 2:44 in training, and then to put 10 of them back to back, it does seem pretty tough. But it's amazing what you can do. Yeah, on race day. Tapered and ready to race.
Was there anything other than just wanting to get back into racing that sort of inspired you to sort of turn your life around, I guess, or was it just purely you just kind of had enough of that lifestyle and just Yeah,
it was definitely. It was almost like I needed to do something with my life, and I knew I had a bit of natural ability with running, and I was just sick of living that same party lifestyle over and over again. So, decided to put my focus into running, and then, once running became like a social thing for me as well. Going running with a bunch of good mates and that sort of thing, going out for meals afterwards. It was ticking a lot of boxes. Not only good for me, but I was having a lot of fun doing it. And then once I started to travel the world as well, I was hooked.
Yeah, it's I noticed you mentioned it's lifestyle, like all the people that you were hanging around with. It's kind of when you do make a big change like that, and I think a lot of people do it in their life. You actually have to change your lifestyle completely, and you almost have to. No, you don't want to lose friends, but the kind of people that steer you in the wrong direction, you kind of have to, I guess, I don't know, not hang around them anymore. It's kind of when you make a big change like that.
Yeah, definitely. That was probably one of the harder things was, going from always being the guy that someone could call and I'd come out for beers.
Yes.
One of the last people to leave parties, that sort of thing, just trying to explain to that group of friends that wasn't me anymore. And I lost a few friends along the way, but I'm still great mates with a lot of my friends from during that time, and a lot of them are really supportive of my running now, which is good.
Yeah, that's what you need, definitely.
You look like, Benny, I have to say, you're really in a good place at the moment, just with your network of people around you. Your flatmate Hamish, he's very, very supportive, and he's a good runner himself. He'd be great to live with, and he'd be really just enjoying. He really enjoys your success, and then you've got your people that you're coaching at the moment too. So yeah, and you've got Sean. So you've got a lot of good people around you, haven't you, at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're putting so much time and energy into something like running, it's good to surround yourself with people who understand that that I get home and I'm absolutely smashed from a day. I'm doing a bit of coaching with my new group run crew, and I'll go and hit some sessions with Sean, and by the time I get home, I've got absolutely no energy to do anything else. And, living with Hamish, he totally understands that and understands if I'm comatose on the couch at the end of the day. And
cooks dinner for you.
Definitely sharing that load with. I've got a network of physios, massage therapists, people who are sort of on board and really trying to help out, which is great.
Mate, take us back a little bit. What was it like living with Dino, and did he play any part in inspiring your comeback?
Oh, definitely. So I moved in with Dino pretty early on, and Dean's a clean freak, that's for sure.
He is.
So is Reedy.
I had to shape up a little bit, coming from share housing and universities and drinking and all that sort of stuff, pizzas under the couch, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
you
had to change with Dino, but he was a good influence on me. But definitely Dino was the guy that introduced me to Sean, my coach, since 2006, and Dean would be around to go out running with me and kayaking and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, Dean introduced me to a lot of Sydney running people, and another good mate of mine, Caleb Wegner, back in the day, he was the one who introduced me to Dean, I think, at a fun run at the Bay Run. So
yeah, when you got second to Caleb.
Yeah, I think.
Did you come second to Caleb?
Yeah, no, I think Tom DeCanto might have won it. Caleb was second, and then it was myself and then Ryan Gregson. So those two boys that day both beat future Australian record holders for the 1500 and 10K. So.
Wow. That's awesome. Did Dean also teach you how to run with your shirt off?
Yeah, well, I didn't know what was acceptable in Sydney in terms of running with your shirt off, but I don't think I ever saw Dean wearing one.
Quite sad, isn't it? Yeah. I was telling you about our little calendar experience earlier.
Oh, yeah. We had everything off for that.
You in January. I was trying to work out where your tattoo is. You've got the Olympic rings on you, Benny, haven't you?
Yeah.
On the ankle?
I've got them just on my rib cage under my right arm.
I got it wrong.
Was that, tell us about your Olympics experience. Obviously, pretty amazing to get to go to the Olympics.
Yeah, it was awesome. Just, getting out in the opening ceremony and marching in the Australian colours, or basically everything from uniform fitting to meeting all the other athletes. And yeah, my performance I wasn't overly happy with. I was having a bit of a form slump that year. I quit my job and really focused on training leading up to it, but made the mistake that people often make, and I did too much and ended up training myself into a bit of a slump. But the night I was on was Mo Farah won my race, so the home crowd were going absolutely nuts. They won 2 other golds on the track that night in long jump and the heptathlon. So walking out from the final call room out onto the track in front of 80,000 screaming fans.
Oh,
that's a pretty exciting night, actually.
Yeah, I had 20 family and friends who'd all travelled over and forked out $1,000 each for a ticket. So
wow,
there were people out there watching me, and yeah, gave it everything I had on the night. Left the track a bit disappointed with my performance, but still, from where I had come.
It's a great achievement, Ben. Honestly. As you said, from where you've come, I wouldn't have, and sorry, no offence, don't take it personally, but I wouldn't have thought that, you'd come out, like meeting you that day at the Bay when you came third in that Bay run, and then like...
he said he put on a bit of weight, how fat was he?
Oh, he wasn't too bad, but if there's some photos of him, he's quite puffy, no offence, Ben.
I'd put a lot of effort into that bloated face.
But yeah, I never thought that day meeting you at the Bay that you'd come out and you'd be the Australian record holder over 10K, 27:24. You've surpassed my expectations.
No, neither did I. Yeah, hopefully I'll get another crack at the Olympics next year and put down a race I'll be a bit more proud of.
Mate, we're very hoping you will. We're actually, we want to talk to you a little bit about that. We, being so well spoken that you are, and obviously this is a great high rating show, we were wondering if we could proposition you to have a little segment on our show. We were going to call it Running to Rio. And we were sort of just going to chat to you for 5 minutes, every week when we do the show and just get, like we just really, like you mentioned before about going to the Olympics, like from the uniform fittings to walking out into the stadium to everything about it. We would love to just get a 5-minute update every week on how your training's going in the lead up, like even things from the Olympic Committee calling you about uniform fittings, like travel bookings, everything. We just kind of want an insider's what it feels like to be someone going to the Olympics and everything that comes with it. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, no worries. I'll be happy to do that. Obviously, I haven't qualified yet.
Hopefully, isn't it? Yeah.
I've run the qualifying time, but more than happy to.
They haven't named the team yet.
And if I don't make it, then that's it.
Then we'll just share that downside with you. But yeah, no.
What's the plan for there? Where do you go from here and qualifying wise? You said you're going to the World Champs.
So the time for Rio, they used to have A standards and B standards, that sort of thing. There's just one standard now. For the World Championships, it was 27:45. For the Olympics, it's 28 minutes. So, and the qualifying period is already open. So my time from Stanford this year counts as an Olympics qualifying standard. But you still need to prove yourself to be in the top 3 Australian runners, in this qualifying period. So our selection trial and Australian Championships will be down in Melbourne in December, the Zatopek 10K Championships.
Yep.
So, I'll race this year. I'll focus on Beijing and go to Europe after that, hopefully to run some fast races. But then I'll turn my attention to trying to win that qualification race down in Melbourne. And whether I win that or not, I've got the standard. So basically, I'd have to.
How are you?
Or, we'd have to have some really strong runs from 3 other guys to push me out of the team. But it's always possible. So yeah, I'll be happy to keep you guys updated on how that's going.
Mate, that sounds awesome. How are you looking? Who's your competition from Australia at the moment?
Well, Dave McNeil, obviously, from that 10K, he's now run the standard as well. So
yep.
At the moment, it's just the 2 of us. But there's always Collis Birmingham, a very strong runner. He just ran a 13:17 5K overnight in the US to qualify for the 5K for Beijing. So Collis will be strong. Brett Robinson is the reigning Australian 10K champ, so he'll be a threat. But I like to think that, there's 6 spots at the Olympics in both the 5 and the 10K. So with the guys that are around at the moment, hopefully we can all qualify and fill all 6 of those spots.
Yeah, gotcha. Would there be a chance that you'd ever run both the 5 and the 10?
Yeah, for sure. I've run those. I ran both at the Delhi Commonwealth Games. I qualified for both for a couple of World Championships, but decided to focus on one. But you'd have to make one your focus, and then use the other one as a bit of a bonus. So I think at this stage, my preferred event is the 10K, and I feel like I've got more potential in that event. But you never know; something might happen. I might not qualify for the 10 and only qualify for the 5. So they're quite similar in terms of the training you do. You can run really good 5s while you're training for the 10, and vice versa. So.
Benny, what's an A qualifier for Rio for the 5?
For the 5K, it's around about 13:23 or so.
That's quick still. That's yeah, right. Wow.
Benny, just with your training, what do you like some of those 1%ers that you do? What do you think it is that makes a difference that just gets you to that next level? What would you say some of those things are? Yeah,
well, I think the key is consistently getting all the main things right. So, consistently hitting good mileage, consistently working on good sessions. I think before you worry about the 1%ers, you've got to make sure all of that's in place. But definitely for me, I find what I got wrong in 2012 was I was trying to do everything hard, everything fast. I was trying to do more of everything. And I think one of the keys now to me running well again is that I treat my hard days really hard. So my sessions are tough. I work really hard, but then my recovery days, so my days between my sessions, I still hit good mileage, but I just back the pace off as much as I need just to recover so that I can hit a really hard session again the next day. So that's one thing that I've tweaked a little bit and seems to be working. And I look back at my training diaries and all of my best results, and it seems to be I run better when I'm polarising my training like that. So really hard days and fairly
easy days.
Easy days. But definitely I'm working with a strength coach, a guy called Tony Buttaggi at the moment, and I found that to be really helpful. So 2 to 3 gym sessions of 40 to 50 minutes, working on specific weaknesses or imbalances that I've got. That's definitely something that you could look at once you've got everything else in place, or as you're putting everything else in place. Then it's all the other things like great nutrition, good massage. I see physio, osteo. I'm on a foam roller at least 30 to 40 minutes every day.
Serious?
Yeah.
I hate the foam roller.
Yeah, it's a bit painful, but it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about drills, Benny? Do you incorporate drills in your...
Yep, definitely. I do form drills and some plyometric work and some hill strides at least 3 times a week.
When do you do those? Before your sessions?
Yeah, I do them before my sessions, and sometimes just on a Friday when I've got just two easy 40-minute runs on a Friday. I'll head to the track or to an oval after that and do some form drills and some hurdle drills, that sort of stuff, just opening the hips up and working on form.
Ben, you're doing a lot of training. Are you working at the moment? I know you've got Run Crew. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I've had various jobs over the years, from working full-time with IND Australia and ANZ as their health and wellbeing consultant.
Oh, that's cool.
Working with the Michelle Bridges 12-week body transformation as one of their coaches and program writers. But at the moment, I've started my own coaching business with good mate Gary Tiger Howard, who's been my massage therapist and training partner over the years. We've started a group called Run Crew. So it's a Sydney-based group. We do online programming, and we're basically offering coaching to people, so they can check it out, www.runcrew.com.au.
Perfect.
So that's, for me, it has to be something that can fit around my training and can allow me to travel for races and that sort of stuff. So at the moment, I think I've got the balance perfectly right.
Now, you mentioned that your partner's name's Tiger and he's your masseuse.
Yep.
How does that work? Tiger.
That's his nickname.
Tiger.
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 It's called
Yeah.
Easy Tiger Massage.
Easy Tiger.
He doesn't always go easy. He gets in there pretty hard, but he's helped to keep me in one piece over the years.
Okay.
Benny, you mentioned Run Crew. That's kind of it hasn't been around that long, probably 4 or 5 months now, 6 months?
Yeah, it started late last year.
And seems to be growing quite fast.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a bit of a running boom going on at the moment, and there's definitely, a lot of people who can use the expertise of people who not only studied but also experienced a lot of, coaching and competition over the years. So, we're just out there trying to help people reach their running goals.
Mate, what are your thoughts on guys that run in slippers?
In slippers?
Yeah, we've got a bloke that runs a 2:43 marathon in Kmart slippers. We spoke to him on the show earlier. When you listen to this program later, you'll get to meet him. His name's Phil Benave, and the guy runs a 2:43 in Kmart slippers. How does that make you feel?
Well, that's impressive. I think you go a lot faster in a pair of New Balance RC6.
Good work.
From my sponsor, New Balance. But yeah, look, it's pretty impressive. If he's running the 240 in slippers, I'd be a bit embarrassed if he was overtaking me and I had my $200 pair of
New Balance
on.
Yeah, that's exactly what actually happened to me, Benny. Is that you having a little dig at me or what?
Happened to read at Canberra earlier this year.
Yeah, I had my very expensive ASICS Hyperspeeds on, and he ran straight past me at 32k. And the guy was actually doing an ultra marathon. He was running 50k, and he did it in 3:20. So
yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
He actually runs around. Sorry,
mate.
mate.
Out there that can run well barefoot, then there's people out there that need specific types of shoes. So I think getting expert advice is what you need there.
Yeah, we're all built differently. I forgot to mention he's 50 years old to
48.
40, close enough, mate.
What an interesting character. Sounds good.
He is. You'll have to have a listen. He's a great guy. So obviously, Benny, Rio is the number one goal. Any other long-term goals outside of running? Obviously, running is the most important thing to you at the moment, but obviously, probably building Run Crew up. I guess anything else? Any other dreams, hopes, aspirations?
Well, building Run Crew, that's great. Running-wise, after Rio, I'd like to look at stepping up to the marathon and trying my hand at some of the longer road races. At some point, once running takes a backseat, I'd like to do a bit of travel that's not based around racing and training.
Yeah.
I've seen some amazing parts of the world, but I often see the airport, hotel, track, and then back to the airport. So I get a bit of an idea of a place. But I'd love to just pack a backpack and head overseas and just have some unstructured travel for a while, and then settle down and look at starting a family, all the usual stuff.
A couple of kids, the stock standard.
Yeah, maybe become a Bondi lifeguard.
How do you swim? All right.
I can swim okay. Yeah.
You'll make the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ATVs if you start. You just sprint down to the south corner, rescue people.
Yeah.
Mate, City to Surf. You gonna have another crack this year, or will you be the world champs?
Unfortunately, it's just too close to world champs.
Yeah.
2010. I haven't had a chance to race the City to Surf again because there's always been a major championship on. So I'd love to have another crack at it and see how close I can go to Mona's record. It's a pretty impressive record, but it'd be fun to have a crack at it.
Yeah, we chatted to Liam about it, and he said he doesn't think it's going to get broken anytime soon. What do you think?
It's a remarkable record. I think when Mona set that, he around that same time he set a world best at the time for a half marathon, and obviously he was an absolute machine. So it's a tough record, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely, mate. You mentioned nutrition before. Do you like to blow out on junk food? What's your junk food of choice?
Messina.
Yeah,
Messina ice cream.
I used to live 280 metres from the original Messina.
Loves it.
280 metres.
He does. He loves it.
And that was my go-to celebration. It's probably one of the first places I visit when I get back from overseas is Messina. I love a good cheesecake. But yeah, I eat really well 95% of the time, and I think the other 5% I have a bit of fun, and I'll eat a burger and
that's good.
Ice cream, that sort of stuff.
You got to blow out.
Yeah.
I've been blowing out for 9 days straight. It's back to the training paddock for me in the morning.
Well, that's that's part of the good thing about running is we burn enough that we can have a bit of fun when we blow out at the end of the season.
I saw you admiring Huey's pancakes and cream and ice cream even this morning and honey.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't deserve any of that French toast this morning. I'm tweaked the Achilles a little bit, so I'm having 4 or 5 days off running. So yeah, feel like I went the healthy option this morning.
Mate, what will you do? 4 or 5 days off running. I've just had 9. It's absolutely killing me, but that's only because I've been away. What will you do? Like a lot of gym work or bicycle, or what will you do to have 4 or 5 days off running?
Yes, I'll do some stuff in the pool, bit of swimming and a bit of aqua jogging. A lot of depending on the injury. At the moment, it's an Achilles injury that's not too acute, and I've tested it on the spin bike, and I can get on there. So I'll do some intervals on the spin bike. I'll get stuck into a punching bag. Basically, try and simulate the training that I'd be doing running, but either in the pool on a bike or elsewhere. I'll keep in the gym doing my strength work, and hopefully by Wednesday I'll be back running again, and hopefully it's just a little niggle and it won't hang around.
Okay, all right, good to know.
Benny, what's the next target for you? If this holds up,
provided this Achilles holds up, I'm down to race the Launceston 10K in 2 weeks' time down in Tasmania. It's a nice quick course down there. Liam will be racing, so it'll be a good match-up. There'll be a pretty strong field down there. Then Gold Coast Half Marathon.
Goldie Half.
July.
Oh, you'll be up there, yeah?
We'll be up there.
Yeah, going to run the half up there, and then so that's a bit of a a longer build-up, focusing on some more threshold work, longer reps, race the half marathon, and then it'll be all about sharpening up and getting ready for the track 10K. I'm on the first day of the World Championships at the end of August 22nd in Beijing. So
yeah,
that's the big one.
Got it all, yeah.
Beautiful, mate. Before we're going to do a little 60 seconds with. But before we do, where can we find you digitally? Obviously, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, website, blog.
Yep,
Tell the listeners.
I've already said the Run Crew website, and I'm
Yep.
going to hopefully start loading some blogs onto there, in preparation for Rio, that sort of thing, so people can get a bit of an insight into my training. I'm on Twitter at Benny Saint,
Yep.
one word. Instagram at Benny Saint Graham.
Yep.
And Facebook Ben St Lawrence.
All right, beautiful, mate. So the way this is going to work is we're going to just throw. It's going to go for 60 seconds, and we're going to throw questions at you.
I'll start the clock.
All right, Dean's going to start the
He's
clock.
got the page in. He's got the clock.
And I'm just going to throw some questions at you, and we want you to just answer
Just
them.
settle. We've got to get you relaxed for Rio. Mate.
Off the cuff.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, ready, Dino? You got the clock ready to go? Ready? Go. Greatest rival.
Collis Birmingham.
All right. Favourite Taylor Swift song.
Can't name any. Sorry.
Toughest race.
The 10K at Delhi.
Favourite Tom Cruise movie.
Risky Business.
Sing or dance.
Dance.
Favourite race.
City to Surf.
Blonde or brunette.
Blonde.
Macca or Crowe.
Macca.
They're both triathletes, we're not lucky. Yeah. Greatest fear. Not dipping.
The Achilles.
The Achilles. Yeah, I don't like the Achilles either. Favourite running track.
As in music track or track to run on?
Track to run on?
Yeah.
Definitely Stanford University.
Stanford. Okay. Monas or Deke?
Man, this is tough.
Tough.
Deke.
Deke. All right. Favourite holiday destination?
Noosa.
Favourite, most famous person you want to have dinner with?
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais. All right. And what's the question you'd most like to be asked, and why?
Will you marry me?
Why would you want to know?
Save me having to do it.
Oh, perfect.
I like it. Time's up.
All right, time's up, Benny. Mate, thank you so much for coming on the show. And if you're up for that, we'll get there. I'm off to Fiji, unfortunately, for the weekend, but it's a tough
It's a
life.
hard life, isn't it?
But mate, we'll be back recording next week, so we'll hopefully get things going. We'll get a little segment running to Rio with you, if that's all right.
Yeah, awesome. Let's do it. Thanks, fellas.
Hopefully
Awesome.
we have some good news with that Achilles, Benny.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
That was Benny St Lawrence. Great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, great. He's a great guy.
I was going to say big future, but he's already had his future. He's still living it. I reckon he's going to get to Rio.
Mate, he has got a big future still. He's got plenty to give, and I know he still wants to give a lot more. And I've seen he's still got the spark in his eyes. He's definitely he's got some unfinished business to do yet.
Yeah, and like we've seen, age doesn't weary us, even in running. Like you said, that girl.
He's not that old either.
Yeah, as long as they can keep their body right, it's all right, isn't it?
He's very, very sensible, very, very smart. He does all the right things.
All right, mate. We're going to make this quick show tonight because I'm absolutely stuffed. I'm going to go to bed. Some training in the morning for me. Try and burn off this extra 4 kilos I put on. What have we got coming up? Not many races coming around the corner, but we've got some exciting shows coming up.
Mate, we've got some good stuff coming up on our, we'll be up to episode 5 next.
We will.
I know.
That's a milestone.
I know, halfway to my target of 10.
Oh, so exciting.
Yeah, I thought, coming up in the next couple of episodes, hoping to do some stuff on the park runs. That's a big thing that's going on at the moment around Australia and even internationally. That's a lot of people do park runs. It's a 5K event, and we just want to hear a bit more and get a bit more lowdown on what's happening with that.
I think on the next show we'll get Dave Robbo on board. He's one half of the Naked Runners. They've got their own podcast that we've been chatting to a little bit. He's been helping us out a lot with stuff we've been doing. So we'll chat to Dave Robbo.
We'll be doing well if we can get him, and he'll give us all the information on the park runs. He's the king of the park runs.
Find out a lot about it. I haven't done a park run myself, so I'm interested to learn.
I have. I've done a couple.
Okay.
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get all the inside info from park running from Dave, and maybe even give him his own segment on the show. We can find out what's happening with the park runs weekly.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah. That'd be fun. And we're also going to do a special show just on the City to Surf.
That'll be great. I'm looking forward to that. I know you are. You're all pumped.
Oh, mate, I love it. It's the greatest race on earth. And we're going to try and get Monas on board. Maybe even Deeks.
He's got so many ideas, listeners. He's just touching the surface.
So we're going to be giving away some entries. Our next show is going to be good. This one's been a little bit rushed just because obviously I've been away. But our next show is going to be an absolute doozy. What else we got coming up, Dino?
Also, I would like to try and get someone on. Can 2 is a charity group that do a lot of stuff with running at the moment, and they have been for the last couple of years, and they're just doing fantastic things, Can 2. Just like to speak a bit more and find out a bit more about the stuff that they're doing. You're going to be very inspired and very impressed.
I actually saw a photo, a pre-running photo from all their athletes that did the Sydney Morning Herald half marathon, and there would have been 300 people.
Oh, there's heaps of them out there. You'll see them, again, it's a worldwide thing. And they're in the white and the orange colours, and it's just people from all sorts of different walks of life just, having a go.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. So
I look forward to, we'll get someone from Can 2 who can tell us a bit more about that.
Cool. Mate, now, the final segment of the night, your favourite running track. What do we got tonight for us, Dino?
You know I love a happy ending, Reedy, and this is a track called Happy Endings. Happy Endings by a group by the name of FAUL. F-A-U-L. And we are going to finish off episode 4 with a happy ending.
What do you love about this episode so much? About this song so much?
This song?
Again, Reedy,
just a great beat. And it's got some great saxophone bits in it.
Okay, we like the
saxophone on the beach.
Bit of a dirty episode tonight from you. Dirty naked calendars and happy endings and sex on the beach. And, Anyway, all right. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I was a bit slow tonight. We're a bit tired, but
4 down.
We can bounce back next week. Number 5.
5.
Bye for now.
Cheers.
Around here lately because all the stuff going on outside the house, the pressure, the job, all those things that could weigh you down. Sometimes, just sometimes, you bring that home with you. And I understand, but I want us to just stop for a minute and think about how much we had together.